Wrangler will never wrangle more. His days with the Remuda, they're all done. 'Twas a year ago last April he joined the outfit here, a little Texas stray and all alone. 'Twas long late in the evening he rode up to the herd on a little old brown pony he called Chow. With his brogan shoes and overalls, a harder-looking kid you never in your life have seen before. His saddle 'twas a southern cack built many years ago. An OK spur on one foot idly hung, while his hot roll in a cotton sack was loosely tied behind, and a canteen from the saddle horn he'd slung. He said he had to leave his home. His daddy'd married twice, and his new ma beat him every day or two. So he saddled up old Chow one night and lit a shuck this way. Thought he'd try and paddle now his own canoe. Said he'd try and do the best he could if we'd only give him work, though he didn't know straight up about a cow. So the boss, he cut him out a mount and kind of put him on, for he sort of liked the little stray somehow. Taught him how to herd the horses and learned to know them all, to round them up by daylight. If he could, to follow the chuck wagon and to always hitch the team and help the cocinera rustle wood. We'd driven to Red River and the weather had been fine. We were camped along on the south side in a bend when a norther commenced blowing, and we doubled up our guards, for it took all hands to hold the cattle then. Little Joe, the Wrangler, was called out with the rest, and scarcely had that kid got to the herd when the cattle lay stampeded. Like a hailstorm, long they flew, and all of us were riding for the lead. Between the streaks of lightning, we could see a horse far out ahead. 'Twas little Joe, the Wrangler, in the lead. He was riding old Blue Rocket with his slicker above his head, trying to check the leaders in their speed. At last, we got them milling and kind of quieted down, and the extra guard back to the camp did go. But one of them was missing, and we all knew at a glance 'twas our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. Next morning, just at sunup, we found where Rocket fell, down in a washout 20 feet below. Beneath his horse, mashed to a pulp, his spurs had rung the knell for our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe.